I want to talk about the telephone call. Now, there's a lot of processes that you might have in your business for lots of different things. And the telephone call is one of the few things that I find are completely ignored. What you have to do is you have to make sure you have a process for handling telephone inquiries so that you can convert more of them into appointments. Now, over 15 years of working with people on the telephone, I've listened in on thousands of telephone calls. I've listened to recordings. I've talked to salespeople about what went right, what went wrong. We've analyzed the difference between people who close a lot on the phone versus people who generally have conversations that lead nowhere. And what we found in the differences is that the people that do really, really well tend to do the same things over and over again. And I want to share what some of those things are with you today. So one of the things that they do is they follow a process. They know where they're going at every single telephone call because it's always the same place. They know the map, so they don't have to look around and ask for directions. They know exactly what's going to happen for the first step, the second step, and the third step. Let me introduce you to the 3 acts of the telephone call. So there's 3 acts, just like most plays or operas or books. It's a story, and it's organized in 3 acts. The first act is the greeting. That's where we have the opportunity to generate a really good first impression and conduct a little bit of a warm-up so that we can get the caller to give us precious information. Information like their name, the telephone number, where they called us from, their email address for follow-up, all of those things. Then we have to guide that prospect and understand, are they a caller that's called us many times before, or are they the first time they're calling our business? We're going to treat these people differently because obviously they have different needs. If they're a caller that's called us before, we're going to look and see what kind of information we have on them already. Because if you're following my system, you're going to have a lot of information that you can use now to accelerate the telephone call to get to the close faster. But let's say you don't have any information. This is a brand new telephone call. So the greeting involves getting some information from them and then asking them, are you interested in booking a consultation, or are you just interested in some general information? And what you're aiming to do really is if somebody's looking to just to book an appointment, move them right to booking an appointment. No need to spend any time, no need to worry about any kind of process, just get them into the appointment. And then you can ask any question you like after you've booked the appointment, you got the date, if you've taken the fee, if there's one that's necessary, and then you take the information that you need. But let's say that the caller is like most people, that they don't necessarily want to book an appointment immediately, but what they want to do is they want to ask you a few questions to see whether or not it's worth having an appointment with you. So what do we do then? Well, we can do a couple of different things. One thing that most telephone salespeople do is they let the prospect talk and guide the conversation to where the prospect wants to take it. So what they become is the human equivalent of a website FAQ. They become just the person who answers all the questions that the prospect has. That's not taking control of the conversation. What I mean by taking control of the conversation is guiding the prospect through a series of questions, very clearly laid out, that identify the needs of the prospect, where the prospect has been, what they're looking for in the future, how they might consider your service in their daily life if that's appropriate. What's the criteria for the kinds of things that they want in the service that they're purchasing? Where have they been before? What else have they looked at? Have they been to the competition? How did they evaluate the competition? Why didn't they go with those people? Why are they calling you? Who else is involved in making the decision? What kind of timing do they have? When do they want to do this? What concerns might they have? I have 10 specific questions that I teach on an ongoing basis to people of all different industries to get at the dominant buying motives of people when they're calling for an appointment. These 10 questions are questions that can be modified to suit your organization, modified to suit your product or your service, modified even to suit your market. But these 10 questions, using them, can lead prospects through a ladder of agreement that enables them to feel trust in you, to feel like they're listened to, and to feel like you've earned the right to generate a recommendation. So that's Act 2, is the opening. The opening involves asking a series of questions, 10, in order to open up that prospect, to give you all the information that's required in order for them to feel comfortable in trusting your recommendation. Act 3 is the close. So the close involves basing all the information that you've generated so far and making a recommendation for an appointment based on that information. It's incredible, once you've actually understood what the prospect's after, how much more easily they're open to following your lead. That's what we do at Sales Heroes. We turn people who answer the telephone into leaders. We turn them into guides. We turn them into people that people respect and listen to. And that's what's going to generate more conversions for you on the telephone, is by having people on the phone who put their best foot forward and really don't answer too much, but answer just enough to generate the intrigue and the interest in having that person take the next step. And it's not an easy step to take. You know how long it takes to generate, to feel comfortable in meeting with somebody. Take time out of your day, travel to the office, potentially miss out on some work. It's a big ask to get people to come and meet with you. And we take that responsibility seriously and ensure that the people that you have on the phone are really, really well trained to do this and are excited about doing this because they see this as an important job. And those are the 3 acts of the perfect telephone consultation. Again, greeting, opening the prospect, and then closing the prospect. And when they have issues surrounding our close, then of course we teach them how to handle objections. It doesn't always go according to plan. Sometimes people, once you recommend them to come in for an appointment, will have objections. They'll have concerns. Now, that's what makes the difference between people who just are taking orders over the phone or selling on the phone. It's how you handle those objections, how you're able to take those potential conflicts and turn them into reasons for coming in for the appointment, which I'll teach you how to do.